All right, I'm going to call this meeting to order. Good evening, everyone. This is the June 14th regular meeting of the Hoboken Board of Education. Mr. Moffat, would you begin by reading the Statement of Compliance?
Yes, sir. This meeting is being held in conformity to the Open Public Meeting Act. Proper public notice of this meeting was published in the local newspapers on June 11, 2016 and June 12, 2016. If any board member or member of the public in attendance believes that this meeting is in violation of the Open Public Meeting Act, the Hoboken Board of Education requests that they make a statement at this time. The board wishes to make those in attendance aware that this meeting is being recorded on video and will be broadcast by the board at a later date on cable television channel 77 and FiOS channel 46. The full meeting recording will also be made available on board docs, which can be accessed through the district homepage. The Hoboken Board of Education is committed to preserving the decorum of the public process and is mindful that we live in the electronic age of computers, cell phones, and other electronic communication devices. Nevertheless, we respectfully request that all meeting participants kindly silence their electronic devices during the course of the meeting, and if use of the device is necessary, we ask that you please leave the meeting room if you need to conduct personal business. Thank you. If you please rise for the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the roll call?
Ms. Angley?
Here.
Mr. Biancamano?
Present.
Ms. Evans?
Here.
Dr. Gold?
Here.
Mr. Madigan?
Here.
Ms. Montgomery?
Here.
Ms. Sobola?
Here.
Ms. Stromwall?
Here.
And Mr. Kluffeld.
I'm here. We have a big agenda tonight, and there's likely we're going to go in executive session later on. So I'm just going to move quickly here. First thing we're going to do is switch the agenda in the recognition part around. We're going to go to 2.03 first, which is the Hoboken Education Association presentation to the American Cancer Society.
Nope. Thank you, Mr. President. I have a check here tonight for, if Tom could come up here. What's your name? Nicole, right? Natalie. On behalf of the Hoboken Education Association for $1,000 that we're going to, the teachers to address down, Jean Day and their own donations. We put together $1,000. The one thing, Tom, and I have to tell you one thing, when you get up here year after year, and I know, you try not to break down when you mention your wife, and every year you do it, and it just gets to me. My mom passed away, and my father was never the same after that, and it's just one of those things when you really love someone and you've been married a long time. It's hard, and I know it takes a lot for you to come up here. And on behalf of the Education Association, I'd like to present you guys this check for $1,000.
I'll try to be brief and not try to break down here. But first of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Johnson and the Hoboken Board of Education members for allowing us to, and Gary and the union to get behind us a little bit this year. I just want to thank the schools, all the principals, and the students for the students in each school for what they did this year with the luminary bags. It was an overwhelming response from the students, from the principals down to the students, and to the parents for allowing these children to do these bags and make them up. And so some of the bags are so overwhelming. Then when you read them and you look at them and you see the heartfelt pouring of respect they had for our cause, and that was a beautiful thing. And I think that's from all you people up here, especially you, Dr. Johnson, for spreading the word down to your principals and to your staff. You made an important event very possible. And we get some big donations from companies and all that. and that really helps us in our cause for the day to get to our goal. But the thing is, the real nuts and bolts of the affair, of the event, is the little things that get done, the luminaria bags, this donation tonight, just people coming up and donating money, buying our T-shirts, buying this, buying that. That's the real cause that we had. Those are the people that really get involved with it. And I just want to thank you again so much from the bottom of my heart. You made a day that's usually very sad, a very overwhelming and enjoyable day. And I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. God bless you all.
And just on behalf of the American Cancer Society, our survivors and our caregivers, I would just like to thank the Hoboken Board of Education, the principals, faculty, and students for helping us continue our mission to help save more lives each day. Thank you so much.
Dr. Johnson, the students of the month.
Okay, good evening. I have some very special students here tonight for Student of the Month, but before I go into that, I have two additional special awards for two children who were not able to be with us at one of our previous board meetings for the participation in the annual Rotary Spelling Bee competition. So if Miguel Cabelin is here and also Samuel Garcia, can you please come on up? Okay. No? All right, so if they do come here, we will honor them. You all know that participating in a spelling bee is a very stressful event. So these children stayed calm and cool under pressure, did extremely well in the spelling bee, and should be recognized for their work at the Rotary Club Spelling Bee. So at this time, I'm going to move on to our Students of the Month, and I'll call each one up one at a time. Thomas Spatucci, can you please come on up? How are you? Congratulations. So I'm going to say a couple things about you, okay? All right, so I have learned a lot about Thomas from your principal and some of your teachers, okay? What I have learned about Thomas is that his favorite color is red. I've also learned that there's some foods that he absolutely loves to eat, and that's mashed potatoes and corn. Is that correct? Yeah? Okay. I also learned that he has a pet hamster named Marley that he loves very much. He has two brothers, Anthony, Marky, and he has two sisters, Gabby and Lisa. And he's also very interested in playing lacrosse already. He's on the blue team, and his dad helped him discover the sport and really get to love the sport, right? Okay. Thomas is most happy when he's building amazing things with his Lego sets, and he's built an enormous castle that he has told a lot of people about at school. Okay. He does have some career aspirations already, so I think that's wonderful. When he grows up, he wants to be a teacher so that he can teach kids how to be smart and how to help others as well. According to the people in his school, Thomas is kind, and he's cooperative, and he's very thoughtful. Thomas has an outstanding attitude, and he always tries harder than he did the day before. According to his teachers, Thomas is a high achiever. He loves his mom and dad, as he told his teachers and Ms. Rodriguez, because they love him back very much. He shows this on a daily basis when they hug him, according to his teachers, and he loves getting hugs from his mom and dad. The Brant community salutes Thomas for his hard work and congratulates him for being Student of the Month.
thank you everybody for being here. I'm so glad that you had to come. And I can do a great trick.
You can do a great trick?
Yep.
What is that trick?
I've seen a lot of tricks here.
Yeah. Stand up. So 1 second, Thomas, we're going to give you this certificate. Okay, can you hold this for your mom to take a picture? You're welcome. Thank you, congratulations. Good job, buddy. Okay, so I think
Thank you, Thomas, for that lesson in learning to be flexible.
That is very true. Okay. So I think the microphone is broken, so I'm going to have to hold it, if that's okay with everybody. So the next student of the month is here from the Calabro School, Josiah Torres. Are you here? Come on up. Congratulations. Okay, so according to Mr. Vespignani, Josiah Torres is a deserving student to be selected as Calabro School's District Student of the Month. He is extremely hardworking, and he always strives to do his personal best in the classroom. From the beginning of the school year, he has shown a commitment to himself as a leader and also strives to learn something new each and every day. He follows directions, and he's always willing to help other students when they need it. He comes to school each and every day willing to learn, and according to his teachers, he's a leader in the classroom, and many students emulate his extraordinary behavior and the work that he does. His favorite subjects are math, physical education, and computers. Even though writing isn't one of his favorite subjects, he still does very well in it. His stories are always filled with descriptive details and imagery, according to his teacher. He's made the honor roll every marking period due to his hard work and his grades. He's also been a part of the chorus program at Calabro for 2 years. And outside of school, he loves to play video games and to hang out with his older brother. He also has a love for movies, and in the future, he hopes to continue his education and become a director. He's a well-rounded student who deserves to be praised for his hard work, both in and out of school. So congratulations for being nominated Student of the Month for Calabro School. So hold on 1 second. Thank you. Okay. Our next student of the month is Samantha Pennington from Connors Elementary School. Come on up, Samantha. All right, so I've also learned a lot about Samantha from Mr. Fitzhugh. Samantha has developed into an integral part of her classroom community at Connors Elementary School. She can always be counted on to work hard and follow directions in school. She arrives consistently on a daily basis with a smile on her face, and she is ready to learn every day. She gets along well with other students, and she can be counted on to be a great friend. Samantha focuses on her work, and she is willing to assist her classmates when they are struggling. I've learned that your favorite subject is math. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. And the reason it's her favorite subject is because she believes it's easy, and she likes to do long division a lot. Yeah? Okay. Outside of the classroom, Samantha likes to play in the park. She likes to play math games on her phone, and she also likes to play with her younger brother, Sean. The Connors Elementary School family is so very proud of Samantha. She exemplifies the true essence of the Connors Cares mantra: C for commit to learning, A for acting responsibly, R for respecting everyone, E for effort matters, and S for soaring to success. So on behalf of Connors Elementary School, congratulations to Samantha for being named Connors Student of the Month. have people taking pictures of you. You're welcome. Yep, so go ahead, get in there by yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You're very adequate. Thank you so much. All right, and our next student of the month is from Wallace Elementary School, Sheila Lamb. Are you here, Sheila? Congratulations. So Sheila is a consummate student, and she is also an amazing artist. More often than not, she can be seen at Wallace Elementary School with her sketchbook penciling away at a beautiful drawing. Her artistic ability is now on permanent display at the corner of 11th and Clinton Streets, as her rendering for the Hoboken Green Team's mural project is a daily reminder of how pollution affects our local urban ecosystem, and also her artistic talent. With the guidance of her art teacher, Mrs. Fusco, the Wallace School is very proud that her mural was judged best overall throughout the citywide contest. Mrs. Fusco is always quick to offer enthusiastic praise for Sheila and her artistic ability, as are all of her teachers in the Wallace Elementary School. Sheila's prowess is not limited, though, to her artistic endeavors. She's a dedicated member of the Wallace School Band under the direction of Miss Safko, who said that Sheila is a pleasure to have in class and is extremely talented. She is a straight-A student, and she is an example of how hard work and dedication always get noticed, no matter how quiet and unassuming their practitioner may be. So on behalf of the Wallace Elementary School, congratulations, Sheila, for being named Student of the Month. All right, and next we have Angel Lizardi. Angel, are you here? Come on up. Congratulations. Okay, so Mrs. Donnelly and the middle school, Hoboken Middle School team told me a lot about you. What they had to say about you is that Angel is an 8th grader at Hoboken Junior Senior High School. He is bright, articulate, and he is a thoughtful young man. Angel is the truest example of a well-rounded student. He works hard in all of his disciplines, and he strives to do his best at all times. Angel is a leader during group work and class discussions. His comments are insightful, and they often spur discussions to a higher level. Angel was one of the first junior high students to attend Harvard Model Congress Conference in San Francisco this year. It's a good experience? Yeah, okay. His interests range from politics to aquaponics and beyond. Angel is admired by his peers, and he's always willing to go the extra mile. It has truly been a pleasure to watch Angel grow over the last school years, according to his teachers at Hoboken Junior Senior High School. He has a bright future ahead of him. On behalf of the Hoboken Junior Senior High School, congratulations for being named Student of the Month. Thank you.
Well, I would like to thank everybody that has just supported me at the high school, Mr. DiBernardo, all that have taught me so much, expanded my awareness of the world, and just influenced the person I am today. I'm sitting right in front of you. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, and last but not least, for our Students of the Month, we have Gina Rotondi. I saw her, she's here. Come on up. Congratulations. so I wrote a little myself as well. Gina is a conscientious student who is full of school spirit. I think I can definitely attest to that. Every time I see Gina, she's involved in something with a huge smile on her face and always cheering other people on. She's enthusiastic. She throws herself into activities both in the classroom and outside of the classroom. Her cheerful smile is infectious, and it helps everybody else to see a positive light in things. It is clear that Gina enjoys learning and can frequently be found assisting and teaching other students. She's extremely mature, she's hardworking and disciplined, and she holds herself and everyone around her to very high standards. In fact, she ranks in the top 3% of the class of 2016, and she's going to be attending Rutgers University in the fall. Gina is a standout volleyball player, a setter, I think. Okay. And she's a member of the National Honor Society and also the Rotary Club. And she also participates in the Drama Club as well. She's an integral member of the Drama Club. She's an extremely powerful role model at Hoboken High School as a result of her volunteerism, her work ethic, and her desire to become engaged in the overall school community. So on behalf of Hoboken Junior Senior High School, congratulations for being nominated Student of the Month. Congratulations. You're finishing up really strong, right? I know. Here, hold that open. I think you will get Miss Pick in there too. How about that?
Oh, that's nice.
You're welcome. Okay, and I think we have one of our spelling bee students, Samuel Garcia. Sam, come on up. We have a certificate for Sam for his participation and his performance in the 7th annual Rotary Spelling Bee contest. So I'm sure it was a little bit stressful to participate in it, right? Okay, so you studied all the words, you did really well. Is it something that you want to try again in the future?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, great. So we want to congratulate Sam for his participation, and we hope that he only continues to improve every single year, and maybe, just maybe, we'll see him on the national stage participating in one of the national spelling bee contests. How's that?
Yes.
All right. Congratulations. Thank you.
All right, while Dr. Johnson returns to the stage up here, that would be an appropriate time to call just a quick recess if any of the families and kids need to leave. You're welcome to stay, but we have a long meeting ahead of us. All right, we'll resume. The next item on the agenda is the superintendent's report. Dr. Johnson?
Okay. All right, so my superintendent's report is going to be extremely brief as we close out the school year, and there are a lot of items on the agenda, so I will absolutely deliver a more comprehensive report at the next meeting. At this time, we are closing out the last few days of the school year. Teachers are working extremely hard with students, particularly at the high school level, to ensure that everybody is ready for the closeout, graduation, different things along those lines. We're also working very hard to ensure that our moving up ceremonies are in line and ready to go. So I hope that I see many of you at those moving up ceremonies and graduation ceremonies. We are also gearing up for a lot of our summer curriculum work and training. In fact, this week we are participating in week-long training for our Project Lead the Way program, STEM program. So we have teachers that are engaged in training right now. At this time, we're also assessing our enrollment daily, and I think it's important for me to let the Board of Education know where we stand. So there's a few critical points that I am seeing in terms of enrollment data. Most critically, at our lower grade levels, preschool 3 and 4, we're currently seating 840 pre-K 3 and 4 students right now, and we have 970 that are currently registered for next year, with New Jersey Department of Education funding for 840 of those students. I think it's also important to let the Board of Education know that we currently have 234 kindergarten children, and we have to date 303 kindergarten children enrolled for next year. We currently have 198 first graders enrolled, and we have 234 first graders enrolled for next year, making our kindergarten and grade 1 combined totals from this year increasing from 432 to 537 children. It is requiring us to open 2 additional first grade classrooms as a result of the enrollment growth, which is a good problem to have. The question is, where are we going to place those classrooms? So just to keep everybody informed, I am in the process right now of collecting some input from our parents who are right now at the Brant School in kindergarten, to get a little bit of a sense of how many families would be interested in potentially staying at Brant for first grade. And the reason for that is because we are busting at the seams at Wallace. We do not have room to add any additional classes at Wallace. We've already added an additional kindergarten at Connors, and do not have room for 2 additional first grades at Connors either. So our option, you all know that Calabro really doesn't have a whole lot of room to grow either. So our option right now is to take a look and assess our parent wants and needs at the Brant Primary School. So that's what we're doing. I'll keep you posted. Today was the date for the feedback back from parents, and out of all those surveyed, about 51 families showed a strong interest in potentially having their children stay from kindergarten to first grade at Brant. So those are some of the topics that are at the forefront right now that we're exploring, and I will keep you posted and deliver a more comprehensive report at the next board meeting.
Thank you. Ms. Sobol, is there a communications report?
Very brief. Hello, Frank, is it on? Yeah. The Communications Committee met was myself, Dr. Johnson, Mr. Klupfeld, and Ms. Montgomery. It was very brief. We reviewed the completed new website. I'm sorry. It's completed, but since it's the end of the school year and the parents know where to look, all the different year-end activities, it will be launched after school has ended. And so we reviewed that, and it looked great, so that's what we did.
Thank you. Dr. Gold, curriculum?
BA or? That's what
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just had a quick one.
That's what I was saying.
That was this high sign from Peter. Thank you.
Okay.
Just something quick. We do have a live item for consideration tonight. It'll be entered as 12.4, and it's facility use request for the school year 2015-16. The reason why we wanted to get it on tonight is it will be taking place on June 17th. So what I'd like to do is just read it into the record. It'll be again 12.4, and it's item AH. It's from the Hudson School, and it's for a retirement party. The location will be the high school gymnasium. The date's June 17th. Times from 3 to 10 o'clock p.m., and the fee will be $945. And that concludes my report.
All right, thank you. I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
Dr. Gold, sorry.
Well, as usual, our superintendent's working day and night to increase the educational opportunities and quality of our students. This happens through changes to the curriculum. So just a brief list of the things that are occurring. As the superintendent mentioned, we had the Passport to Learning After School program, and it's being implemented and really provides great opportunities. We have Project Lead the Way training, which is another opportunity for the children. How you arrange classes is very important. What children do you put together? And that increases the opportunities for the children. So there's a new process that's being put in place that allows you to put a variety of children together that helps them tutor one another and work together to increase the educational chances for children. So the school roster process is changing. There are 18 different summer curriculum projects under place, so you're going to see a number of new and improved curriculum. For our special education, the program is being refined. The more you can differentiate among children, the more you can specialize the program and intervention for the children, the better for the children it is. So they are working on ways to increase and refine the special education programming that we're going to have available. As alluded to, and perhaps not completely specified yet, the schools are going to be reconfigured to provide more of homogeneous and educationally sensitive program. So the schools are going to be switching a little bit. I'm sure you'll be hearing more about that. And they're going to be exploring the middle school before and after school program. I mean, when push comes to shove, the teaching, the curriculum is what parents really care about, and that's being addressed. That's it.
Thank you, Dr. Gold. Mr. Biancamano, Facilities.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Facilities Committee met on Wednesday, June 8th from 5:30 to 6:30 in Mr. Callaghan's office. In attendance were Tom Klepfel, Sharon Angley, Jennifer Evans, myself, and Mr. Callaghan. Items discussed, and it's a little bit of a lengthy report since we have many summer projects coming up. So we reviewed those summer projects. Both the robotics and science labs have been ordered and will be ready for the fall. The Wallace Gym will go under a complete overhaul down to the bare wood. The ceiling will be painted with any damaged tiles being replaced. The bathrooms will be demolished and completely rebuilt, and the color selections are going to be selected shortly. This work will begin at the end of June and will be completed by the beginning of the school year. Unfortunately, there are not enough funds to go forward with enhancements to the field house this summer, but we might have some volunteers who are willing to raise money to that cause. The next item discussed, the district sustainability plan. Under the leadership of Chris Delafave, the Green Team has been working on a sustainability plan, which is on the agenda. The plan lists goals for the district. Nothing is committal, as these are just recommendations. On June 30th, the city has requested the high school auditorium as backup to the symphony orchestra in case of rain. All other requests on the agenda, including the live items, should be pretty straightforward. Lead testing. We discussed lead testing and remediation plans. Parents have received information regarding the initial lead testing that occurred. The district will wait till the end of the year to retest those 16 locations. The facilities office has already begun to look at filtration systems to make adjustment at the kitchen level areas. The governor has promised reimbursements of testing to districts as long as the legislation continues to go through. This will also assist in the district in paying for any filtration devices. We are continuing to monitor the situation and will keep the public informed going forward. And then JFK Stadium exterior improvements. A tree had come down by the entrance. That area has now been sodded. The district will be replacing all the shrubs and putting stones around the monument. Facilities office is also getting quotes for fencing around the entrance of the stadium. Just a couple of notes too. Netting, and I know netting was a topic from a member of the public last meeting. Netting around the field was discussed. The district is continuing to wait for pricing. Measurements have already been taken. Unfortunately, it is a busy time of year where many districts across the state are replacing fields, etc., and hence the holdup. Backstops are also an option which would look comparable to any other district. The work at the field will begin July 2nd. It should be completed in 5 weeks. We are looking to keep everybody off the new field until the district football season begins. The plan for summer work is going to revert back to the way it was 2 years ago, which will limit overtime, providing a smoother streamline of work at each school. That's all for this month. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Biancamano. The Finance Committee would be Sharon.
The Finance Committee met on Monday, June 6th from 10 a.m. to 12:15 p.m. In attendance was Dr. Johnson, Mr. Moffitt, Mr. Klepfel, Mr. Gold, Ms. Stromwell, and myself. The committee reviewed all agenda items and recommend all for approval. We discussed the food service update. April profits for normal and evening meal operations was approximately $5,300. Year-to-date, our profits are $44,000. As I've reported in the past, the district does have an unpaid a receivable on our books for lunches served but not paid. This receivable grew between last year under Sodexo and this year under Pomptonian, and the administration has gone out to families and has collected approximately $12,000 to reduce this receivable. The receivable as of May is still $41,000, and the administration will continue to monitor it and assess if anything needs to be written off, but we'll, continue with efforts to collect this money from families with outstanding bills. The committee discussed the JFK Stadium, the track and field project that will happen this summer, and the other capital projects, as Mr. Biancamano mentioned. The committee discussed doing multiple lease purchase agreements, and Mr. Moffitt is working with bond counsel and should have some solid numbers to discuss at the next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Angley. And Ms. Evans, governance.
Okay, the Governance and Personnel Committee met on June 7th from 5:30 to 7:30. In attendance were myself, Ms. Montgomery, Ms. Sobolov, Mr. Klupfel, and Dr. Johnson. The committee reviewed all the consent agenda items that are on the agenda tonight. We recommend all for approval. I did want to just mention a few items. Items 9.02 and 9.03, we have two retirements on the agenda, Francis Cohen and Joseph Lucignano. We'd like to thank them for all their years of service to the district. I know that Ms. Cohen has been with the district for over 38 years. I don't know how long Mr. Lucignano, but again, we thank them for their service and also wish them all the best as they move forward with the next stage of their life. Item 9.18, Ms. Charlene Edwards from the Hoboken Public Library will be talking to the students at Calabro School about the summer reading program. This is a great program, open to all students in Hoboken. I believe they're having their kickoff this weekend, and they're having fun events throughout the whole summer, including Quidditch in the park, so just a great thing for kids to take advantage of. Item 9.28, you'll see that local organizations and individuals are contributing 41 scholarships to our graduating seniors. We'd like to thank them for their generosity and support of our students. And finally, the committee also discussed personnel matters as well as staffing and enrollment for the upcoming school year. And that concludes my report. Thank you. I have nothing specific to say for President's report other than remind the board that tomorrow night we have the awards ceremony at the, is that the Walls School? Yes. And of course graduation next week. So it's always it's rewarding if you haven't been to, everybody appreciates your attendance. We will move to public comments. Mr. Moffitt.
Ms. Chris Adair for agenda items only.
Good evening, Chris Adair, 456 9th Street. I actually wanted to comment on when I looked at the agenda and I saw, I guess it's 10.12, the resolution for the improvement of the crosswalk out here at Demarest. I was pleasantly surprised. I'm happy to see that the board's actually looking at these kinds of things to, in the morning and in the afternoon, I'm sure when the kids get out, I don't see that as much, but to help make it safer for the kids as they're traveling to school and from school. I know that that's this intersection out here, and that can be a very busy intersection. So I was really happy to see that. I think it's it integrates so nicely with the sustainability project that you're working on as a district, as well as the sustainability project that the city's working on. I think it integrates really well. I think that the more we can encourage parents to walk and bike with their children, the better it is for the kids health-wise and the town. So I wanted to say thank you so much for doing it. I hope that this is a first step, this intersection out here, that we'll see it around town with lots of the other schools and even where I live down at JFK Stadium during game time and things like that. I feel like sometimes when the buses come in, there's a lot of kind of chaos in the streets. So if that sort of thing can also be addressed as you kind of look forward and go forward with that, I think it would be a great thing. So I just want to say thank you for thinking of it and thank you for doing it.
Thank you. Is there no other public comment?
No, that was the only speaker.
Okay. In that case, we are ready to move on to the consent agenda. If I can have a motion.
Motion.
Second?
Is there any discussion?
Oh, yes.
Can I pull off a few items?
Good.
Okay. I'd like to pull off 10.7 for discussion, 10.8, and 10.10. And a question on 12.4. My question on 12.4, can I ask you now?
Can you repeat them again? 10, 7, 10?
7, 8, I'm sorry. Let's pull 10.5,
10, 5.
10.7, 10.8, 10.10.
10, 5, 10, 7.
And a question on 12.4.
10, 8.
My question on 12.4 is what kind of party are they having? Is there food and drinks in the gymnasium that they're renting?
I believe
No alcohol,
I believe I can answer that. There's no alcohol in
No, but
any of the
even
schools.
drinks, like we have a hardwood floor.
Yeah, but they put a mat over it, John. There's a mat they put over it.
Yeah, but it won't be protected. I mean, it's still, those protections aren't that good sometimes, and it ruins the floor, and then that's gonna cost our district money, is my concern for renting it
Okay.
out for parties. You know, it's,
I think
can they rent the cafeteria instead of taking a chance on messing a hardwood floor up
Okay.
for basketball, a volleyball, and other things we use it for?
I think there's a protective mat that goes down when they use it for dances.
Yeah, but people bring shoes, they wear shoes on these parties, and I don't know how protective the mat is. You know, it's a little silk thing, I think. It's still a concern is why couldn't we have them use our cafeteria instead of taking a chance and ruining a gym floor where our kids use it for our gym time, you know?
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
There's a waiver for insurance, right, for liability that goes along with all facilities requests, correct?
Yeah.
And it's
Still-
$2 million? I think it's
Even that, why should we have to take a time of taking our gym out of service is what I'm saying. It's a gymnasium, not a hall rental. I mean, like I said, why can't they use our cafeteria if they're gonna have those kind? I'm just making a suggestion. I just think it's something of a thing that could affect our children of having classroom gyms if floors get ruined this way. You know, it's just like I've spoke about over and over about the use of our field. You know, the use and wear and tear. It's now this summer going to affect the children of Hoboken because we have to redo it. Now, we rent that out over these years. The Hoboken Board of Education has rented that out night after night after night and on weekends, you know? We have to look, cost cutting. Are they paying enough? Also, and I'm not saying this group, but exactly this goes with the field. Are we paying enough to cover the custodians over time? And then for the wear and tear of the field that we're going to go out and pay for this year, so.
Well, I believe the Director of Facilities is involved in these contracts and
Yeah.
is well aware of the concerns and the wear and tear.
Yeah.
And is recommending that here, so.
But I mean, did we think it through? Like, I know it's
I'm sure we have the experience to
It's
do
a
that,
live
but-
item, so it's the first time I'm hearing about it, but like I'm saying, for the gym, I don't think the gym is a gym, not a party room, is in my thing. Like I said, it's
You
a
know,
gym.
our Director of Facilities is here, maybe he can address your concern.
Sorry, Mr. Callaghan.
say this is an exception to the rule, John. Hudson School was in a jam based on a situation they had with a previous location. The covering that we put on the floor, we've had many more people than they'll have that night. It's a situation where someone who has given her career over 45 years to the community is being honored, and the Board of Ed has been asked to help bail them out of a situation that was a little bit untenable. We are prepared for the crowd. As I said, the covering has served many more people than that. There will be food, there will not be alcohol. As far as displacing anyone from our gym that night before we gave them the facility, we made sure that no one else had requested it inside the district. So I think that addresses your questions.
Yeah,
and they are paying enough, that they're paying the same fee that everyone else pays, and that will cover the custodians and any other cost. And as Monica said, we do have an insurance waiver from that.
As my concern, it's not like putting on anyone out. I figured you would have checked that, but
It's
like
an
I'm saying,
exception rather than the rule, and we wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't a situation that really needed our help.
Okay.
And Mr. Callaghy, there was no other event going on school-based in the gym?
Correct. We're not displacing anyone.
all my concern is now they heard we're renting this out as a party room, and people will start lining up asking us.
No, and
for-
as I said,
that's-
we've rejected many requests, but this was an exceptional situation. And Sue Ellen Newman, as you know, has been part of this community for a long time.
Yeah, as I'm saying, this was the first time I heard about it since it's a live item, and I know the woman, and I think she's done a great job.
That points to the situation itself. It was a situation that was extraordinary rather than ordinary.
And as, like I said, what concerns me is it's a gym floor instead of like we should have looked about giving a cafeteria or something, or even to Wallace before.
It was a capacity.
It's being ripped
It's a
up.
capacity issue.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Callaghy. Anybody else?
I have other questions, but I also have questions on the items that John pulled. So I can ask the other questions, or John can ask his questions on the items he pulled.
Are we going to pull it off? I'd like to pull it
Well,
off
we
the
pulled
agenda. I
those.
might want to go into close. I might ask to go into closed session on some of the issues also. So
Oh, okay.
can we pull it off and not vote on it? Vote on them separate?
Okay, so I'll ask my other question. It's not on the items he pulled. Dr. Johnson, 9.10 and 9.20. It's the same question for both of the approvals. One is an approval of staff for summer theater program, for summer theater camp, and the other one, I believe, is the music camp. 9.10 and 9.20. I was just curious, Dr. Johnson, do we have enough students to number one, to partake in these camps?
Can you say it one more time?
9.1,
No,
oh, the question?
question.
Do we have enough students to partake in these camps?
Yes.
We do? And is this going to be tuition-based, or is the district paying for the camps?
So the special education program that you're talking about is a required program by the New Jersey Department of
Is it special education? I'm sorry, are we
No,
on
I
the
think-
same?
I think
The summer
it-
theater
I
camp
think-
and the music camp, or is
You said 9.10.
I think it's
9.10.
9.11 now and 9.21.
No, no,
I
no,
think they
nine-
moved, if you look, right? You're
Oh, they
looking
did?
at,
Oh, my apologies.
theater
I'm looking
camp?
at an older agenda.
So theater camp is 9.11 and...
Correct, 9.11, 9.
And music or band, I believe, is 9.21.
So your question regarding if there are enough students, the programs are always, from what I've learned historically, filled to capacity, and there's typically a waiting list for both of these programs, the theater camp in particular. This year was the first year that there was a small fee attached to the theater camp, and the reason that there was a small fee attached to the theater camp was a request on the part of Ms. Miller, who's running the camp, in order to ensure that those that are signing their children up and dropping them off have a little bit of a stake in the game, as opposed to taking the seat from someone else and then not necessarily ever showing up. Danielle said that, Ms. Miller said that there was, have been some parents in the past who have utilized the program for maybe the first few days, and then didn't bring their children the next few, and then it was difficult to get the children off the waiting list. So But the program is packed.
But, and so the district will be covering the cost for the whole music camp and the
Correct.
majority of the theater camp.
Correct.
And what do you see as the academic purpose of these camps?
Both of them. I mean, anytime you have the ability to provide enriching experience to kids both after school and in the summer, it's critical. We know that there's a strong correlation between music education and student achievement. So the more children that are involved in our music program, the better. Theater, we all know, in every way, shape, or form, provides students with confidence and the ability to speak extemporaneously, think on their feet, and also cooperate with their classmates. So they do work at this camp, and I don't know if anyone saw it last year, but they put on this wonderful show at the end of the camp. So it gives the kids the opportunity to do something meaningful. The city provides lunch for the kids in both of these programs, and they're packed. They're really crowded.
Okay. Thank you. And the money we had budgeted for the camps didn't change from last year, and this is why we're charging that extra fee for the theater camp, correct?
No, the fee for the camp, or the monies that are budgeted for the camp, are the same last year as they are this
Right.
year. The extra money that we're talking about is, I think we're talking about a sliding scale, so children who are on free lunch or qualify for free lunch don't pay for the theater program at all. Children who are on reduced lunch, I think the fee is, I could be mistaken, I think it's $30.
Okay.
So
that's with the extra, I see.
Yeah, it's a very small fee, and for more than anything, it's for the purpose of just simply having a stake in the program.
Right. Okay. So moving on, and bear with me here. It was 9.16 on my agenda, but I'm guessing it's 9.17 now. The approval of the athletic department intern. I was just curious. This intern will not be paid?
No.
It's a volunteer position. And the only reason why I asked that, and Vito, feel free to jump in here, because I know internships at my professional job, I mean, the laws have changed. Maybe it's state by state, where labor laws have said we have to pay interns because they're working for us. So I'm not quite sure if that's the same in New Jersey. I do work in New York, so.
Not when they're internships that are a part of an extension of a academic program. So this is an internship that's part of a bachelor's program in sports and coaching management, actually. So this is an individual who lives here but goes to school down in the southern portion of the East Coast. I believe it's Virginia. Okay. And he's back in this area for the semester, the summer, and then also the fall semester to participate in an internship type program.
Okay, great. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we were covered just in case later on this person might see
and
a
the
state law
individual
that says,
does
"Wait a
go
minute,
through the
I worked for
entire
free."
process.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then one more on governance and personnel, which I'm guessing is 9.26 now. The approval of staff for coordinator stipend for the 15-16 school year. The gifted and talented coordinator. I was just curious, this position came into effect last September of 2015, so I was just curious why now and not at the beginning of the year, especially when this person's retiring.
So that is something that will be discussed in, we'll discuss that in executive session. I can't discuss a personnel issue like that. However, it was in the personnel and governance minutes regarding why that's actually on the agenda. But we certainly can discuss it in executive session.
Please. And then I had one more finance question before my 3 items that John pulled off. Uh, 10.14, I'm guessing those numbers stay the same. The approval of appointment of board secretary. So, Mr. Moffett, we're appointing you tonight as the board secretary again for the following year. Then we're appointing Donna Perez as the assistant board secretary. Would there be compensation every time she takes over for you?
Well, to cover the meeting, it's normally you would pay for the time spent at the meeting, but no additional stipend on top of that for the assistant position.
So who is the assistant board secretary this year? I'm just curious.
She's sitting in the audience. That's Donna Perez. If you could raise your hand.
Okay, great. And so we're doing it again. So it's basically just an extension.
Right, it's just it's a formality. You would normally do this in reorg in the old days when it was...
Right, that's why I was confused.
So it's just a matter of identifying who the board secretary is, and then in the event they're incapacitated or can't take a meeting, then there's a backup plan.
Okay, great. That's it for now, besides the items that were pulled.
Okay, Mr. Murphy, you have a good record of what's being pulled?
Right, I have 9.26 being pulled, and then I had questions, and I guess I'm pulling these, I'll restate them, 10.5, 10.7, 10.8, 10.10, and I'm not pulling the 12.4, right?
No, I asked a question on that. You're not pulling that one. That was the one I asked the question on, Bill?
Understand. So I don't know, are we putting the grouping that together in a separate motion? Or are we pulling it for discussion? I'm not sure. I understand.
Are they going to be discussed in executive session?
Can I speak about the contracts in public?
No.
No?
I mean, well, depends on what contract.
If you don't mind, why don't I just caucus with you for a moment to see what questions you want to raise, and we'll see whether they should be public or private. But my respectful suggestion is vote on the consent agenda, give me a moment to speak to Mr. Madigan, and then we'll see how many of those others we can cover.
I think Peter has questions, so he said on them, but I have a few that you could answer me.
That's fine. So let's do the consent agenda, and if the president gives me a moment, I'll confer with you, and we'll see how much of that we should cover publicly.
Okay.
Mine I could say in public,
Okay.
because I've asked these stuff.
Well, you practically have your own law degree. I don't have to caucus with you.
All right, so we'll move on the consent agenda.
Motion.
Second.
This is besides 10.07, okay.
Yeah.
Right, this is a consent agenda, I'll restate it. It's a consent agenda minus 9.26, 10.5, 10.7, 10.8, 10.10, and that's it. I have a motion seconded, so I could call roll.
Please.
Ms. Angley?
Yes.
Mr. Biancamano?
No on the minutes, 6.01, yes on everything else.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Dr. Gold?
Yes.
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Ms. Montgomery?
Yes.
Ms. Sobolov?
Yes.
Ms. Stromwall?
Yes.
And Mr. Klupfeld?
I would like to abstain on 9.24 and yes on everything else. We're just going to take a brief recess while...
Do we make a motion for the other items, or?
What are the other items?
Yeah, I think we're holding, right, to see if that would be pulled for executive session or if it would be appropriate to discuss it here.
What did we learn?
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Madigan was kind enough to preview for me his questions. They are all about the contracts and motions. They're basically contractual and financial in nature and are appropriate for public discussion.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, my first question will be on 10.7. If we could go down to earth specs, is it? Doesn't have a letter next to it on mine. We're paying this person $70,800 to be a student transportation consultant. I've been told when this person came in first years ago, just when they got rid of the transportation director, for like $30,000, I think they paid him back then. I heard he doesn't even come into our system, is what I'm told. Also, we're paying him $70,000. I heard someone does that job already that's on staff here. So here it is again, and like I said, I'm sorry, Sharon, I didn't get to you on these issues. I've had a lot of graduations in my family, cousins, kids, everything, so I'm bringing it up here. But I just think we're going down the same slippery slope. It's about contracts and overpaying, and I have problems with these issues, you know? And you know, every year when it comes to the budget, people blame our staff that they pay their benefits, that benefits go up, and I hate that because that's what comes out, and I don't find it as true as we could cut on different things as like this. So I have a problem with this this, and I don't think it's needed, and I think we should pull it and not vote on it, or we should vote it down and go back to this person and cut it way down, because I don't think, is what I'm being told, that the work's being done as we need it. And last meeting, we asked, Peter and Irene asked to see the comparison from when the prior board dissolved the transportation department, and we got rid of all their benefits and all the employees, and now I think it's close to being back up to those salaries, but we never got that. Did anyone get that?
And John, I'm glad you brought that up, because this is another point of contention for me. I actually believe with Dr. Johnson, Mr. Moffett, and Mr. President, that this item should be taken off the agenda tonight, because we never spoke about it at Facilities Committee last week, which Facilities incorporates transportation. Dr. Johnson, you and I have spoke about this several times, about how I felt that this contract was indeed a waste for the district. I mean, ERTSPEC was brought in years ago to see if we wanted to privatize transportation, and apparently they said we needed to, so we listened to them. Now it's $71,000 every year, and I think they're drawing routes, which Mr. Madigan touched upon, that somebody's doing in the district already. So I'm hoping that we can at least take this off and discuss this more in the committee meeting next week. We have another meeting coming up in the end of June before the contract's set to expire.
You can absolutely pull it. Please understand that EarthSpec is not a person. EarthSpec is a company. And EarthSpec's responsibility is to do routing, transportation routing. So we do not have an individual in the district that is routing our buses. So putting aside conversations about whether anyone agrees with or doesn't agree with privatization, that's not something that is a conversation on the table. That's a totally different conversation.
Okay, how much?
And just to follow up, I mean, Mr. Moffett, we did ask you last meeting, and Ms. Soboleff and I both asked you, for a comparison to see if we were actually saving money on transportation or not, on the privatization of transportation or not. So I don't know if you have those figures for us tonight or not, but I think voting on a student transportation contract that does routing, which again, from many different administrators I heard, there's an internal person that does the routing, and they're basically paying close to $71,000 for a company to do routing when there's already an internal person doing it.
So
I just think we need to discuss this more in committee, and that's why I'm asking that we can take it off.
Pull it off the agenda. It isn't a problem, but I am going to tell you that the routing of our buses is not done by someone internally. We do not have someone on staff that has the ability to do that. If we would like to hire someone to do that, we certainly can, but we do not have an individual on staff that does that work.
And since it's a personnel matter, I think it's best we pull it off, and we'll discuss this next week in committee, who that person is. From my understanding, is that does.
May I?
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah, I'd like to add a couple of things on top of their job description.
Don't you vote to pull something?
Yeah, but Mr. Moffett has a...
Yeah, on top of routing, they also control our, as far as bidding, they assist with the bidding, they assist with routing, contract, administrative functions like getting approval from the county office. I would also remind the board is that we do have ESY contracts that we need to be concerned about over the summer. And this company has been here for a number of years, and the contract you speak of is at no increase. And we did discuss this in Finance Committee, and my analysis stands from when I did it the first time it was asked. We have significant savings from that decision the board made to outsource. And quick off the top, you're saving over $20,000 per route in this new paradigm that we have currently.
20,000, and how many routes are there?
Say that again?
How many routes are there? We're saving 20,000 per route, you said, and how many routes are there?
We have about, I believe, around 17 routes. It will all depend next year. They're obviously being reformed and consolidated, and if you add in the ESY, I'd have to get back to you on the total number of routes, but what I can tell you is each individual route, the average roughly is about $65,000 per route, and when you do it outsource it, meaning go out to bid, you save at least $20,000 a route on average.
And I guess the number I was looking for was the total number we were spending when we had in-house drivers compared to outsourcing, because every time we outsource a route now, and we're consistently getting more routes, it is costing the district more money.
Mr. Chair?
If I may, Again, this goes back to, you continually ask, and what happens is you make what I call, and actually it was a response to Dr. Gold's question in the past, is there's a new normal created. So once you make a decision to privatize, you've made your savings, then it's budgeted for, and then moving forward, various routes will change. So if you are continually adding routes for the number of students, it gets difficult, because I do know there's some information out there that compares point to point, but they forget maybe that we added 6 routes in one year and maybe 4 routes in the future year, and you compare the same dollars, you could be actually even more efficient, because for the same money, you're doing more with it. So those are some of the conversations that we've had here at the board, we've had in Finance Committee, and I've reported out several times on the savings, not only when it first this was a decision to be made by the board, but also moving forward as September and even this last
So I'm hoping...
Mr. Sheriff?
I understand what you're saying.
Okay, you've had a chance to speak. Dr. Gold?
This was covered in finance. The question was asked, actually it was asked in 2 parts, because you're asking 2 separate questions. The first question is, are we more efficient now that we privatized than when we didn't? And the answer is yes. For the same salary, we are covering a lot more routes, and it would have cost us a lot more money if we were still under that circumstance. The question as far as the appropriateness of, what's the name of the company again?
EarthSpec.
EarthSpec. That was talked about. Everybody knows everybody has an opinion. I'd like to just know, how can we vote on it, yes or no?
Well, has it been, we're discussing it. I think we know where we stand on the thing.
And I was just curious, Mr. Gold, because you just said...
You can either...
Well, hold on.
Move to table it?
No, I would like to pull EarthSpec off the agenda tonight, absolutely, to discuss, hopefully, facilities next week.
Also, as a 2-part to this, as Mr. Moffat's just saying, that they go out for the bids for us. I'm looking at the student transportation backup, and that was this bill. Is this per route or per hour that they're paying the aides? $55 or $32?
Well, this document shows the route cost per diem, as well as the per diem aid, so per day.
That's per day, for both there and back?
For those routes, for the day.
Okay.
So, and just going back to...
All right, Mr. Gagliardi has some helpful insight.
Well, just in response to sort of where we are, other than we're in the auditorium, that part I know. Okay. So there's been, this has not been moved yet. So procedurally, 2 board members have requested that the matter be pulled from consideration. The administration and/or the board president can pull it off the agenda, and therefore it's not available for someone to move. If someone moves and seconds this, then it's a live item, and it's either going to get voted up or down unless someone makes a motion to table, and there's no further discussion once someone makes a motion.
I move a motion up and down.
Are we still in discussion? I thought.
Well,
now
a motion, a motion doesn't preclude discussion.
Okay.
Vito, there's plenty of other contracts on there. Are we specifically talking about the EarthSpec contract, or you're talking about the whole line?
Well, obviously, I don't know what you're talking about, but if the motion is, let's assume the motion is made as to all the contracts. Okay? There's going to be a discussion in response to Mr. Madigan's comment. Any board member can make a motion to table any or all of the items presented to the board. Once the motion to table is made, that, Mr. Madigan, ends discussion. You vote yea or nay. If it's tabled, the item is dead. If the motion to table is defeated, then you would go back to having discussion, then eventually an up
And
and down
I
vote.
believe Dr. Johnson already said that she would remove that item from the agenda. So that's the administration portion of it, correct?
Quite frankly,
I'm really slow. I don't want the motion tabled. What am I supposed to do?
You moved the motion?
I do not want to
remove the item, which...
I can't hear. I want the motion voted on.
So you've made a motion?
Yeah, I make a motion to vote on this motion.
Okay, I don't know if, did anyone second that?
No, not yet. 10.07.
Can I ask a question of process?
I need a second on this motion.
We have a question on process, not substance. Go ahead.
I don't want the thing tabled. I want us to vote on it or not.
My concern is I share that with Leon, because I sensed that the superintendent had made a comment, so I'm curious to get confirmation on that there are routes and children waiting for busing service over the summer, that if this were tabled, I would be concerned that those children wouldn't have this service
That's a
over the
concern.
summer.
We
So
still have
that's my
another
concern.
meeting, right? Before the school year's over, correct?
And this contract starts July 1st, and we have another meeting before that.
Is there a second on the,
That answers your question.
So if there's no second, it's going to be tabled, right?
If there's no second, the motion dies, that's
I'll
right.
second.
The motion, so you're going to second?
I'll second. That means we'll get it.
Ms. Sobolev just seconded. Okay, so now the motion's before the board. You can debate the motion. A motion to table ends debate temporarily. The motion to table passes. The motion is off the agenda for this evening. If the motion to table is defeated, then you would continue to debate and ultimately have a yes or no vote.
I'm sorry, and again, I have to follow. All I want to do is vote yes or no on this.
I think it's clear what you want to do.
Now, am I doing the right thing?
You're right.
Okay.
Procedurally, we're right where we want to be. So we can have further debate, and it's going to come to a yes or down vote unless there's a motion to table made, seconded, and approved. Other than that, you're ultimately going to have a yes or no vote on this motion.
So I have to make a motion to table specifically EarthSpec's contract on 10.07.
You are free to do that, sir.
I'll make a motion to table
And I second it.
But we are...
10.07
Does that
EarthSpec.
supersede the motion?
yeah, so now we vote on
Correct.
that.
So now you're just going to vote on the motion to table. If that carries, if a majority of the board votes to table, then the EarthSpec contract is not available for action this evening.
Got
If the
it.
motion to table is defeated, then you would continue this robust debate and ultimately have a yes or no vote.
So, let's vote. We have a motion to table
The
the
EarthSpec contract.
EarthSpec part
So
of the
this vote is to
contract. And now-
table the,
and we're just voting on that right now. Mr. Moffett, will you call the vote?
Okay.
Yes, I will. Motion by Mr. Biancamano, seconded by Mr. Madigan. The tabling motion for 10.7, which refers to EarthSpec. Ms. Angley?
No.
Mr. Biancamano?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
No.
Dr. Gold?
No.
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Ms. Brittany Montgomery?
Yes.
Ms. Sobolev?
No.
Ms. Stromwall?
No.
And Mr. Klupfeld?
No.
Motion fails.
Okay, so now all of the items under 10.7 are live items for debate and ultimately yes or no vote.
And we have a motion on that.
All right, and I have
And
more
that's been
questions.
moved, that's before the board for action.
And I have more questions on 10.07, not just EarthSpec, which
Absolutely.
I think is a complete waste of money, but just my opinion.
Wait 1 second, Pete, I got him,
Go ahead, you're
for Vito. Now,
Yes, sir.
was the motion that Leon did, was that only for EarthSpec?
That was for all of 10.7.
Was that all for EarthSpec, Leon?
No, 10.07, that's all you can move.
That includes EarthSpec, right?
Yes.
Yes, including,
That's it.
I want to make sure Leon understands what he's voting on.
yeah, so all
Okay,
of
go ahead,
10.7
Peter.
is before you for action.
Okay, because I thought he just said EarthSpec, so.
Thank you for the clarification. I meant the whole thing.
John, do you have any other questions on 10.07? Because I do. I don't want to.
No, you go.
Okay.
I'll go next.
There's 3 other contracts on 10.7 for outside services, another $160,000 for the Jubilee Center, Mathnasium, and Math Wizard. So these are all outside consulting firms, I believe?
Can I just say, these are covered by grant.
Oh, they are
funding.
covered by
Yeah.
That was my question. So $160,000 is coming from a grant that we could use these programs. Okay, great. John, you got a question on 10.08?
Mr. Biancamano,
Sorry,
in this
my
meeting-
apologies, yes.
Is there any other discussion on 10.07?
No.
Okay. Then can we
The
call the
only
vote?
statement I want to make on it is, remember next year when the budget comes up, we'll give him more money to another contract.
Consultant.
That's all I'm saying as
Yes.
my statement when
Thank-
we come
thank you.
back
Thank you, Mr.
and
Madigan.
complain about budget issues.
And then, oh, is it my turn again? I don't know.
You've had a chance to talk. I'm calling the vote.
Call the
please.
roll.
You can speak when
For
you vote.
10.7?
10.07.
10.7, yes.
10.7. Ms. Angley?
Yes.
Mr. Biancamano?
Just a quick comment. I think we need to watch our finances. I think it's great that some of these programs are being funded by a grant, but EarthSpec's a company that, again, we talk about all year, how we might not need them anymore. And now, when it was a chance to discuss it more, we didn't get that chance to discuss it more. So I'm going to vote no on 10.07.
Can I make a comment? Can I go back and make a comment, or I can, you know what, I can save it for the next time. Go ahead.
And the vote is that a yes?
No.
No for, it's a no.
No for EarthSpec, yes for everything else. Excuse me.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Dr. Gold?
Yes.
Mr. Madigan?
Okay, on that, I want to take out the earth spec and vote earth spec and vote no, and yes on the rest.
Ms. Montgomery?
No on Earth Spec, and yes on everything else. I fully support the educational programs. Thank you.
Ms. Sobolov?
Just want to make a comment. I agree, of course, who wouldn't agree with wanting to keep, an eye on contracts. My question from last month wasn't just about transportation, it was about all contracts, because sometimes things are said up here and they're said as fact. And some of them are or rumors. And actually, I have to say that makes me very uncomfortable when we're talking about people and their jobs and their companies or what we do when we're talking about rumors and what goes on. So Earth Spec has been discussed in particular over many years. It's discussed usually in finance. Once again, I would urge board members who were invited to the Finance Committee to attend the Finance Committee, and then these questions can be discussed in detail because so it turns out it's one contract that serves a very useful purpose for transportation for our children with special needs, and the other 3 contracts from a grant. So I just wanted to mention that, yes.
So it's recorded as yes?
Yes.
Ms. Stromwall?
I'm going to vote yes, and this was a very healthy discussion in finance, specifically about Earth Spec, when all our questions were answered by the superintendent and Mr. Moffett. They did a good job explaining why the price is what it is, what we're getting out of it, and we are getting much more than what is assumed right now. And I wish that current members do reach out to their appropriate chairperson to find out these questions and discuss this beforehand. I vote yes.
It's always good to reach out, especially if you have the time and not the night before. So other times-
And Mr. Kluppfeld?
Yes. We have other items that were pulled. Is there any way to get through them as a single?
Yeah, can I just remind the board, we skipped over 10.5? I don't know if there was any, and then we
I
have
spoke
8,
with Vito
10.
on that, and we could go along and vote on that issue. You could, if you want. I'm fine with it.
Someone needs to make a motion.
Motion.
Yeah.
Second.
Motion
I'm
is
sorry, the
second.
motion was who?
Dr. Gold.
Dr. Gold? Seconded by Ms. Montgomery? A call roll.
Please.
Ms. Angley?
Yes.
Mr. Biancamano?
Aye.
That's an aye? Is that an aye?
That's a yes. That's not fine.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Dr. Gold?
Yes.
Mr. Madigan?
Abstain.
Ms. Montgomery?
Yes.
Ms. Sobolov?
Yes.
Ms. Stromwall?
Yes.
And Mr. Kluppfeld?
Yes. Next item is 10.08, approval of awards and appointments for the 2016-17 school year.
What happened? What, Tom?
10.08.
Oh, okay.
President called for a motion on 10.08.
Motion.
Second.
To what?
A second. Ms. Stromwall?
Oh, okay. No, again, contracts, I'm always concerned on the contract issues, so. Again, I asked Bill, how we get to our numbers to get these, to come up with these? Did we send them up for the RFQs? Is that all?
Right. But this section of the agenda, we are for awards and appointments. And what we do is we go out and solicit annually requests for proposals / requests for qualifications. The respondents are then tabulated and reviewed by district staff. So some of the numbers that you see here are based on historical. So for F, which is Porzio and Bromberg, that's supported by the not-to-exceed number, I'm saying, is supported by past history as far as billing and payments. The next one is G, again, the same thing.
Okay. We used all of these last year, the regular contract?
Yes, these are all vendors that we've had excellent experience with, and they submitted requests for proposals and qualifications.
Okay. Have we come close to those numbers on this year that they've done the work for us?
Yes,
to
that's
them?
part of my review of contracts outside of the process.
Yeah.
I look at the purchase orders and I review the
But
billing
have
history.
they come close to that
Yeah,
number?
well, actually, we adjusted a few up a little bit, just to make sure that...
So they went over?
Right.
So-
Well, yeah, because sometimes you have things that happen, like engineer environmental concerns. You know, if there are any that we need, like, for example, we had some testing requirements, so these two may be...
So they all went up or some of them?
No, again, I discussed this a little bit at the Finance Committee.
Yeah.
I would say the only one I want to say is H, and I think that went up about $5,000.
Each went up 5,000.
Each went up.
Any of them go down?
No one went down.
Okay.
But again, I want to remind you that it's not to exceed amount, so
Yes.
if there are any, at the end of the year, if there's, say...
We don't spend.
If we don't spend it, that money's available, if we know soon enough, we can reallocate it, or then it's available to fall out of our budget into
But
our
all of them,
surplus.
for this year, have come close to using all of them.
Yeah, this is,
let's-
again,
let's-
I'm supported
Can we
by
call the vote
bill.
now?
What happened?
Can we call the vote, please?
I can't hear you.
We're going to call the vote.
Okay.
Ms. Angley?
All right, I'm going to make a comment now. As I mentioned at the last meeting, our board is set up in a committee structure. Each month, the 4 board members meet with the superintendent. In my case, we meet with the business administrator. We discuss all of these items at length. This month, we met for over 2 hours. Things are vetted. Not everything makes it to the agenda. Things are questioned. We have very healthy discussions. My notes from that meeting are shared with each and every board member, and they have the opportunity to ask me, the superintendent, or the business administrator their questions ahead of time. I think it's great that we have discussions at these meetings, but I think this makes everyone look a little bit unorganized because it seems like people didn't do their homework. So my vote is yes.
Please, please.
Wait till we get to the next one.
So shall I record a vote for you, Ms. Angley?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Biancamano?
I would like to make a comment. Many times, when people keep repeating that we have committee meetings here, they make it at times where some board members actually have to work and cannot make these meetings. So, and as far as committee reports coming out, they're sometimes late. I mean, they're sometimes sent out a day before the agenda and things like that. But certainly, you know, you're entitled to your opinion. But I just wanted to comment on this specific item. This is the type of non-educational spending that we talk about during budget season. And although a lot of these awards are the same amount as last year, I feel that they need to be decreased. We need to do a better job at getting professional services at a lower price than we had last year. And this is the way you save money at the end of the year. So I'm going to vote no on these awards. Thank you.
No, then I'll record that no for the whole action. Ms. Evans?
I wasn't planning on it, but I'll make a couple of comments as well. You know, I spend a lot of time the weekend before the meeting going over the agenda, conveying my questions to the appropriate person, and our meeting schedule is posted well in advance. So I, you know, don't book things the weekend before. I, you know, stay up late if I have to, and I get the questions to our staff so they have the chance to answer and not be put on the spot. As for these contracts, you know, sometimes you have to spend money to save money. You know, we need good legal representation, which we certainly have. You know, environmental services, you know, to me, that ties into the safety of our children, which ties into their education as well. So, and as for the committee system, I feel like that we have, you know, some dedicated committee members, and if they have fully vetted these items, then, you know, if you still have questions, you certainly should ask. But I have, you know, every confidence that these have been vetted and are appropriate, and I vote yes.
Dr. Gold?
Yes.
Mr. Madigan?
Well, since everyone has to have a statement, which is, it's nice, but when sometimes we get the committee reports, it's late over the weekend. If the committee happened all the way last Monday, we shouldn't have to wait till the weekend to get it, then maybe we could make more calls. As I said earlier, I apologize I couldn't get to some committee people, but there are graduation seasons and other things going on. So, I mean, you are allowed to ask questions at a meeting. And if they were in the notes for the business administrator about business, they should have it here, be ready to answer. Just in case a person in the public asks, or a board member, because just because 4 people say it's great, doesn't mean the rest of the board thinks it is, okay? That's why we all have our own votes. All right, so each time when we come out of a committee, just because the committee chairperson says this is great, doesn't mean everybody likes it. So, and that's why we have 9 members here. Not to vote what just one person's telling us. It's not a dictatorship, it's a board, all right? So, right now, because again, when we come back at it later, I'm voting no on these because of the money issues, again, on contracts.
Ms. Montgomery?
Yes.
Ms. Sobolov?
Yes, I actually have great respect. You know, you can vote any way you want. You can have great discussion. I think it's nice to have discussion. I think it's interesting for the public to hear some of the things that go on. In the years that I've been here, the committee schedules have gone from daytime to nighttime, daytime to nighttime. We all have obligations. What I have found to be consistent in my tenure here as the board members is that the superintendent and staff are incredibly available to anybody who has a question. So whether the committee reports come, you know, this time, that time, and you can ask in public, and that's absolutely your prerogative. But if you want all the answers without it, you know, kind of putting somebody on the spot, it's better to ask earlier so that the person has, you know, the information on hand. So that's the thing. You can vote however you want. You can ask whatever questions you want. But if you want the answers, it's probably better to ask them when they're prepared to answer them. Yes.
Ms. Stromwall?
Yes.
And Mr. Klupfeld?
Yes. 10.10?
1010, I think is the last one.
I think the last item is 1010.
Yes.
That's what I have as well, sir.
Okay.
And on 1010, since Mr. Moffett said to get these prices, it was part of EarthSpec, I wish we'd have them here so they could tell us how they got to that conclusion, I wished. So that's my concern is we're hearing from a company that we're paying a lot of money.
Okay.
I think they should give a presentation before the board how they came to this, these costs for each company that we deal with.
Okay, thank you. But I need a motion.
Motion.
I'm still talking, Tom. Tom,
I just reminded, now you can talk.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
So let me just make sure I recorded. The motion was Dr. Gold?
I
and seconded by Irene.
Wait, I'm sorry.
So
So
that's what I wish if now, because I found out EarthSpecs does that for us,
Okay,
comes
so-
up with the pricing. So I think the consultant should come and give us a presentation how they come up with these prices.
that's what you think?
So
Anybody
we
else?
could
have a
ask how we
comment?
could save them.
I actually have a question, because something was said earlier, and I waited till the item came about.
This is on 1010?
Of course, yes, because these are student transportation contracts, this is about the privatization. I believe Mr. Moffett or Mr. Gold said that we're paying the same amount of money now than we were when we had in-house drivers. Is that correct? But
No, what I said was...
But hold on, let me
No,
finish.
what I said...
Let me finish,
what
Mr. Gold, because I think...
No, you just said I said something which
Well,
I didn't
I
say.
wasn't sure if it was you or Mr. Moffett. Let me finish. There's no need to shout.
You asked
But I didn't
if
finish
that was
my
correct,
point.
so he's answering your
Or
question.
did you say, because we have added routes this year, that's where the cost savings are coming in?
I said
That's
neither.
my question.
I said neither. What I said was, if the same job was being done as we currently had it structured before we privatized, it would have cost us more.
Okay. That was basically what...
No, I think he's saying there's a new baseline, right? We had a certain number of routes before we privatized. We privatized. Now, today's a different world. We have a whole new set of routes. So you have to do a comparison of either getting back to what those routes were under privatization or not, or today. And they're different, right?
And can we get a basis? Can we get numbers to show this?
I think Mr. Moffett has an analysis.
Right. Again, this goes, if I can, it goes to the route cost. That's the best you can do today, because it's 3 years ago. So you're still saving $20,000 at least per route today.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, call the vote?
Actually, I just had one point. So, Mr. Moffett, if you could just clarify, EarthSpec doesn't set the prices for the routes, correct? They go out for bid, correct?
Right.
And that's what's in the backup.
10.10 is actually awarding the contracts that they went out and secured, correct?
And we always take, I think they have to take the lowest bidder, right?
Right. They're required by law to take the lowest responsible bidder, and what you see before you is that information. If they can't, they basically rebid the route. So yes, it's highly regulated part of my job, which is student transportation, and there's bidding laws that they have to abide by.
Okay, thank you.
Mr.
Early
Madigan,
in your-
one last time.
Mr. Moffett, earlier, I thought you said that was part of EarthSpec's things to come up with the pricing for the route, for the routes. Early when we were speaking about
the routing, yes. Routing is when you would set up the stops on a route. So if you have like 2 students you have to pick up, you would route the bus to pick those 2 students up. So they do that. They also are part of what I would consider going out and controlling the bidding process. So they communicate with my office. We go out for an advertisement. We have to have a public
But you said
opening.
they put the pricing before. I thought that's what you said with EarthSpec.
No,
They tell the pricing.
the contract you were dealing with on another agenda item had to do with their contract.
Yeah.
Not contracts awarded to other.
Okay, so they
Transport-
came up with this, you're just saying with their contract.
Well, you keep saying come up with it, but they don't really come up with it. They basically open an envelope and they record it and they control that process based on the
Okay, I
information for
thought
the
you were
route.
saying that they came up
Okay, I
with the
think
pricing for each
we
route.
can vote now. I think we
What?
can vote. I think we can vote now.
Am I still asking questions?
No, I think we can vote.
So I can't ask a question?
You've asked questions.
All right, good. So
Thank
this
you.
is the way it is a dictatorship then, Tom.
I wish it was.
Yeah, no, it is.
Call roll.
Please, thank you.
Ms. Angley,
Yes.
Mr. Biancamano,
Aye.
Ms. Evans,
Yes.
Dr. Gold,
Yes.
Mr. Madigan,
I'll vote yes, even without the question being answered, Tom.
Ms. Montgomery,
Yes.
Ms. Sobola,
Yes.
Ms. Stromwall,
Yes.
and Mr. Klupfeld.
Yes. I think we made it through. Is there anything else?
Can I ask a question?
No.
The only other item I'd like to point out, which was the 9.26.
That was just for discussion.
That was pulled, I'm not sure if that was pulled for private conversation in executive, or if it was,
Oh, that had to be brought in executive session.
Wouldn't that be for executive session, correct?
That's discussed, to be
We
discussed
have
in
executive sessions in
session
it?
as a personnel matter. yes.
Can I ask a question? I know that sometimes we have special committee meetings, like if the budget comes up and all the board members get to come and discuss finance. Is it possible that maybe at Mr. Madigan's convenience that there could be a meeting where we could go over all the different contracts so we know who?
Ms. Soboleff, I don't need you to help me.
I'm just asking because I
But
just
you don't
think
need
it
to
would be
bring,
more
did I speak to you about bringing
All right,
my
I'm
name
gonna-
up
please,
without asking
please,
me?
I'm sorry.
Please.
So please don't ask for
I
something from
apologize.
me without checking with me.
Mr.
I
Madigan.
apologize. I apologize.
Okay?
Maybe
Okay.
for all board members, or if anybody needs
Oh,
updating
there,
on
now
that.
you can do it better.
Thank you.
That gets us to public comment on non-agenda items. So we do this in one executive session.
we have 2 speakers listed. First one is Chris Adair.
Hi, Chris Adair, 456 9th Street. Just wanted to mention the netting at JFK Stadium again. I know when I was here last month, I kind of went into all the reasons as to why I think this is something that's not only good, but really necessary. Since I was here, my husband went up on the roof of our building and found 24 balls up there. So I know that Mr. Biancamano, who is head of that committee, has basically said that it's been discussed, but I feel like there really hasn't been a lot of motion on that. And while all this conversation about all these committee meetings, I would love to come to a facilities committee meeting, although I know as a member of the general public, I'm sure that I cannot. I would love to kind of get a time frame on and your thoughts on, and as a board, of course, if we can possibly get some netting or a good backstop in the JFK Stadium. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next
Another
speaker is Ruth Tyroller.
Good evening, Ruth Tyroller, 339 Bloomfield Street, parent of a 8th grader, soon to be a Hoboken High School freshman next year. In April 2009, that was my first meeting as a board member, so that was almost 7 years ago. The budget, it was April election, so the budget had been passed for that year. And having taken the seat that night up there sitting there, one of the first things we had to do was we had to vote for this budget, which had been passed by the public. So we voted for the budget, and in the budget were 27 layoffs of district employees, teachers included. They're probably remembering this group here. And it was terrible to be your first night and to have to lay off people. But the superintendent was in support of the budget. We were going in saying that we were going to work together, so that's what I did. At the first governance and personnel meeting, we were presented with a stack of contract employees who were in the budget that we had approved. These contracts just had to be approved for the following year. Our questions were really simple. What does this person do, and what is their job description? There were no answers to either questions with most of these jobs, or extremely insufficient ones. We eliminated a number of jobs, 3 of which I actually remember in a fair amount of detail. They were assistant to the superintendent, HVAC coordinator, and printer. Assistant to the superintendent, in the contract that they wanted us to sign, had a full-time job in Texas that he was being given unlimited days to fulfill those obligations. The HVAC coordinator, the job was the only thing they could explain to us, it was to recall a man when a window air conditioner broke. That did not seem appropriate or necessary. The printer, they didn't give us absolutely no responsibilities, would they even list. These are bad contracts, and quite frankly, those are good examples of no-show jobs. The money that could have been used to preserve those 27 employees, which included teachers and people that were supporting the classroom, not extra people that were just being given jobs. Prior to my term, when a board member asked the superintendent, Jack Roslowski, directly about the printer job, the response was, "Oh, we will find something for him to do." Not really the right question, the right answer to an absolutely legitimate question asked by a board member. Committee meetings and board service. I served on this board for over 6.5 years. I am a single mother, full-time working single mother. I understood that when I ran and was elected to this board, that part of serving the community means that you might have to use your personal time. And that includes taking vacation days and taking personal days so that our employees, the superintendent, the business administrator, the teachers, the directors that get called into meetings, so that they can come to these meetings during working hours. That's what it's about. That's what you're supposed to do, and that's what I expect out of people that have been elected by the public. When you are elected, you are serving the public. That means, yes, it is a bit of an inconvenience to you. And so I think it is a terrible excuse to say you couldn't go to a meeting because it was during the workday. That's what personal days are for, and that's what vacation days are for. If you don't have the ability to do that, you should never have run for this board. Oh, and you know, it just dawned on me. I actually remember who the printer was. It was Mr. Madigan. Thank you.
Are there any other, there's no other public comments? No speakers?
No, I have none listed. No.
Okay. Then we are going to need to go into executive session, I believe.
I want to make a comment on Mr. Dare's presentation.
Okay.
So, Mr. Dare, I might have been reading fast during my presentation report, but we are discussing it, but right now it's in the hands of our vendor who took the measurements. And like I said, it's a little bit of a busy time for districts. There's a lot of field work going on and things like that. So the facility committee is just waiting for those numbers back from the vendors, and we will report those numbers to you as soon as we have them. So I just wanted to let you know. I might have been reading a little fast. So.
Mr. Bianco, is the financing shared with that, or is it
I can't hear you.
the financing of the netting? Has that been discussed?
That's being shared, yes.
Shared?
But that'll obviously move on to the finance committee.
All right, now, Mr. Gagliardi, we're going to go into executive session for the purpose of...
My understanding is we have a personnel matter to discuss, in particular the questions related to 9.26, and then we have collective bargaining matter to discuss as well. That is the contract negotiations. So,
And a vote may be held after it, right?
pardon me?
A vote may be held after the executive session.
Action may be taken after the
Thank you.
executive session. We'll make that announcement if the motion passes.
Do we have time?
Taken on 9.26, no? Action has to be taken. In some way.
Yes, obviously I can't compel a public body to act, but if the motion passes to go into executive session, we will advise the public that action may be taken upon our return.
Do we have a time estimate?
Time estimate?
This could be a while,
So like an hour?
about an hour.
About an hour. Yes.
You need a motion to go into closed session?
I need a motion.
to go into closed session for those two stated reasons.
Second.
Call roll. Ms. Angley?
Yes.
Mr. Biancamano?
Aye.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Dr. Gold?
Yes?
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Ms. Montgomery?
Yes.
Ms. Sobola?
Yes.
Ms. Stromwall?
Yes.
And Mr. Klupfeld?
Yes.
All right, the action may be taken upon return in approximately 1 hour.
I need a motion to come back from closed
Motion.
session. Motion
Second.
over here. There are two items remaining to vote on. One is 9.26.
Motion?
Second.
Mr. Moffett, can you call the...
Sure. Ms. Angley?
Yes.
Mr. Biancamano?
Aye.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Dr. Gold?
Yes?
Mr. Madigan?
Present.
We're taking a vote on 9.26?
Aye. Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Ms. Montgomery?
Yes.
Got to close this.
Ms. Sobola?
Yes.
Ms. Stromwall?
Yes.
And Ms. Klupfeld?
Yes. That motion passes, and I believe we might have a live item.
Yes. I'd like to entertain a motion to, how should I word this? Help me out, Vito. To
Approve the memorandum of
move
understanding.
to move the memorandum of agreement between the Hoboken Education Association with the Hoboken Board of Education.
Second.
And,
Oh, 2 seconds.
no,
Okay.
you second. I thought I was going
Is there any discussion? You can call a vote, please.
Just a motion by Dr. Golden. Who's the second?
No,
Monica.
I moved it.
I'll call roll.
Please.
Ms. Angley?
Yes.
Mr. Biancamano?
just like the comment before, after working on the negotiations committee for 3 months with the teachers union, I learned a lot, and I respect each and every one of you, and I think this is a good contract for both sides. So I'm going to vote yes tonight.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Dr. Gold?
This is really a great beginning, and this is fantastic, so yes.
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Ms. Montgomery?
Yes.
Ms. Sobolov?
Yes.
Ms. Stromwall?
I just wanted to thank each and every one of you. It's been a great experience. We have a wonderful dialogue between us. We have the same goals. I believe this contract is going to do so much for this district to move everyone forward, and I'm extremely proud to be a member that, you know, is moving forward with you guys. It's going to be a great next year, and I vote yes.
And Mr. Klupfeld?
Yes. Any other business?
If I could have a moment, Mr.
Please.
I'd like to thank the Board of Ed and negotiating team for the way we handle things. I think we handled it professionally, and we're striving for what is right for children. And I said it numerous times that we always want to work with the Board of Education. And Tom, I remember the meetings that we had, when we talked, and you said, let the teachers know that we we want to work together with you, and I'm relaying that message to you, that we want to work. We negotiated some things good for us, some of them were good for you, and that's what negotiations is. It really was a pleasure. Dr. Johnson, thank you for your leadership, but, you know, I thank you, and we're going to work together, believe me. Now, this is the negotiating team that's here. I would personally like to thank, you know, them for the time that they put in, Ed, Stevens, and the board negotiating team. All right, have a good evening.
Thank you. Motion to close?
Motion to close.
Second.